How to create designs such as this in Rebelle version 7 using a combination of Affinity Photo as well as Rebelle 7. Now this will work with other vector design programs as well. So I've just created a completely fresh document for my Rebelle 7. Go to Affinity Photo and like I say, many other vector programs can be used as well. I'm just using this one. In this case, just go over here and use the pen tool. So pen tool and click the document and add a point or path or node depending on the application. And then click again and then maybe drag around and create a curve design. A variety of different designs can be created. So you just curve it like that to create something very basic. What you can then do is duplicate this design. Many applications have a power transform feature. In the case of Affinity Photo, there's a really great feature with 2.3 where you can go over here and simply select the move tool and you can resize it. You can resize this and then with that you can set the transform origin point and you can position this anywhere. I'm just going to go down about here. You can see now I've got it here. Press return and that's the return on the keyboard. And you can set the rotation and you can go for a value of say 4 or 5. Also duplicate, so set that on and you can see then you've got a number of copies. So you can create a circular design very quickly around that point. Now, if you can't do this power transform, and you should be able to do that in your vector application, but this is a really much quicker way of course of doing it. You can of course manually create them and just rotate it around manually. Takes a bit longer of course, and the more vector designs you've got, the longer it will take. And you can see it creates these number of curves or paths. Obviously different applications will have different terms for it. So you've got here curve and I can then move it to the center because what I want to do now is I want to save it as an SVG file. And that's the key thing. So file, and in this case export, but it might be different. It might be save as in other applications. So export, so click that, and now you can see the vector design there, and I'm using SVG. So SVG, and then export. And I'm going to call it 1.svg, replace. So you've got this design, you can now go back to Rebelle. Go to this, pass, and you can find that in the window menu. So window and pass. And you'll notice down the bottom, you've got this option, import a new path. So click there, go 1.svg, click open. And now you can see it here. It's not actually on the screen at this point or in the document. So just click and now it's been added. Obviously the image is a bit bigger than that, so I'm just going to drag this up. Now, of course, you can vary it. You don't have to create as many lines as I've created here, but I want to show this as an example. And this is not the only thing you could do, of course. You can create maybe flower designs, petal designs, whole range of different designs, radial designs, and of course more complex, maybe zigzag designs as well. But now with that, what you can do, you can go over here and I'm going to use watercolour. So I'm just going to paint with that and I'm just going to apply it. And I'm just going to go with blue and you can see as I drag out. Now I'm using an art pad and pen. So just a bit of pressure. Maybe you might push it too much. Now sometimes it does slightly veer off. It's not perfect. I'm not saying it's perfect, but you can see you can just drag it around like that and you just create multiple dashes of colour. Now you can vary the colour. Now at the moment I'm obviously just using blue, but I'm just going here, different places. Maybe around the edges you could go for say like reds all the way around the edge, maybe the top, or maybe go for, and then change the colour. So maybe go for red now, and you can see just add it like that. And you can continue to add very quickly. And you can repeat this multiple times. And of course you can apply it over and over again to the same line. It doesn't have to be to different lines. And you can make it thicker maybe, like that. And you can see as you do it, you can build up all kinds of complex designs. And you can change the colour again, apply a bit more, and a bit more, and maybe go with some yellow. Now, of course, I could continue to make this a far more complex design than what I've got here. But let's stop at this point. You think, well, it's great, I've got all these lines, what can I do with it? Simply just go over here, deselect that, and then you can see that's gone. Now, as soon as you've done that, you'll notice what happens, because I'm using this, just go over here, watercolours. So obviously slightly, it's all sort of blending in to each of the things. And you can hear actually on my computer, when it does that, it does actually make a bit more processing as required. So what you can also do, you can go over here, alter. And because I haven't got the pass, it can be applied anywhere. So you can just apply it to say like this, very randomly. And again, it just obviously takes a bit more processing power. But you can then go over here, wet or dry, and just go to dry the layer. So I can dry it. And you can see now you've got this design, this lovely curved design that's a radial design. You can, of course, at any point, simply click there again, and it's back again. And you can continue. So maybe go for a different one, maybe go for ink. You don't have to always just use the watercolour. Oops. I don't want to use the wet, I just want to apply it just as ink. And you can see then I can apply those. Maybe change the colour again, go with, and you can of course vary the size. So obviously here you can see the size is very small, so let's just increase that a bit so you can see the line a bit better. And you can see multiple lines, designs can be added all the way around. And you can repeat this. Now of course another thing you can do is you can go here and you can move it. So click there. With that selected, you can then reposition it. So you might decide, you know what, let's just reduce the size. Maybe put it down into the centre. Again, keep it approximately the centre. And again, go to the brushes, maybe use the watercolour or ink, and apply again. Now, the closer they are together, it does seem to have a tendency to slightly distract and go off in different angles. So you might find you might get somewhere it just suddenly goes off. And you can always undo. Simply just undo. If you find that happens, just simply undo it. And again, continue to add your lines. And you can build up all kinds of complex designs very quickly in Rebelle. Again, you don't need Affinity Photo. You could do this in other applications. Just Affinity Photo does make it a whole lot easier to create this sort of design in Rebelle. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions, please let me know in the comments below. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Thank you much.